All right, welcome back to another video in the Git chapter, and we are in a bigger series for taking beginners and turning them into job-ready developers. Now, part of that process is learning version control because you're going to need it to work on a team and to work in different environments. So the most popular one is Git, and we are here and we're going to talk about commits today. And so if I just go ahead and I'm here in my terminal and I am in the root directory of my version control, we're just using this as an example project. But if I go now and I do git status, you'll see that I don't have any untracked changes, but I do have these here that are tracked. Now, what we're going to want to do is create what we call a commit. Now, a commit is a way for us to take every change that we have added here, that we have staged, and we're going to create a history of that. And the history of that, it gives us a place to either we can roll back to that, or we can remove it altogether. But basically, we're saying all these changes belong together, and we're going to make a history. So in order to do that, it's very simple. We're going to do a git commit, and then we're going to give it a flag of -m, and then we're going to set up some quotes, and inside this quote, we're going to give it a short message just to help us remember what this was. So I'm just going to write initial commit. Okay, so you might put something else there, but I'm going to hit enter. And now it says that 3 files are changed, 12 insertions, and now if I do a git status, it says nothing to commit. So there's no changes that have been made now because all of the changes have been committed inside of our commit. So if I go now and we can do something called git log, and now you can see that the git log will show the commit. Now this commit, it creates this hash. Okay, so this hash is unique inside of this repository, and this hash there will never, well, yeah, like I said, it's unique, so there's not going to be 2 of them with the same commit message. So I can then use this if I need to roll back changes or see what was changed on that commit. But if I do git log, it's going to take my newest to oldest and log out my commits. And it'll say who the author was. So it put me down as Curtis Parham, and it put my email address here, which I'm going to have to blur that out in the editing software so you guys don't actually email me. But then the date, this is the exact date and time zone right here that I made the commit. Okay, so it's not necessarily the time that I made the changes on the files, but it's the time and date which I committed those changes to the repository. So now now I have no new changes being tracked with version control. However, let's go now and make another change. And let me just git config --global user -email, and I'm going to set that to parhamcurtis@mailinator.com so that from now on I don't have to blur out my email address, because that's super annoying. All right, so then we have this here, and let me just clear this out, and let's go make some changes to our files. So I'm going to go back here to our actual files, and let's link in our CSS file. So I'm just going to type link, and in here we'll do styles/styles.css. So that will go ahead and add our styles to the index page here. And if I save that, if I save that now and we go back to our terminal, if I do a git status, now we have a new change. The index.html has been modified. So I can use another command called git diff, and what it's going to do is show me the difference. So right here, the difference is going to be what's in green. If I had removed lines, it would be a minus and it would be in red. But right here, it's showing me that I added this line, and it'll give me a little bit of context in the file of where I added that line. But it's saying this is the change that's been made on that index.html. And so now what I can do is we'll do the whole process. So we have again, we have git status, and this shows that we have a modified file that needs to be staged for a commit. In order to stage that, we could do git add dot to add everything, or we could type out the name of the file. So I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna do the dot. Now if I do a git status, we have tracked changes but that need to be committed. So these have not been committed yet. So let's go ahead and create a new commit, and I will type in git commit -m so that we can give it a message, a commit message. And in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type out linked our style sheet. Okay, and then I'm going to hit enter. So now if I do a git status, we now are nothing, we have no changes, nothing to commit, and our working tree is clean. Okay, so that means everything's been changed and it's been committed. So now let me do a clear here, and I'm going to type git log. Now you can see that my latest commit, it has a different hash number here. It still has the author right here, and it has the date right here. And then you can see our commit message right here. So this one is where we typed linked our style sheet, and then down here we had our initial commit. All right, so now we have two commits in here that we can work with in our project, but our current version of the software or of these files is going to be this latest commit up here at top. This is the newest one. Okay, so that is version control, and this is kind of how it works. It creates these commit hashes, and track. Basically, what it does is it's not going to make a copy of every one of your files. It's just tracking with a history the changes that have been made to all of those files. Okay, so that is version control. So that is committing, and we saw in this video, we also looked at git logs, so we can see a list of those. And we're going to continue on in the next video learning even more about how useful this version control can actually be.